Hi there, I'm Edwin Chow from Pain-Free Physiotherapy and Aligned Health. Today I'm going to talk about driving posture. Does your body become tight and stiff after a long haul driving? Do you know what a good posture is when you're driving on the road? Would you like to get to and from your work without worrying about your back? If these questions have been rooming in your head before, let's check this video out. In Australia, driving a car is very common. You probably need to use your car almost every day. In 2017, approximately 7 in 10 people who age about 18 years old travel to work or full-time study primarily by private vehicle. Although commuting by private car is very convenient and way more privacy, driving for a long period of time is very detrimental to your physical health. When you're driving, you cannot really hop out of your car to take a short break. Therefore, you might be unintentionally sitting a lot when you drive. Let's look at this graph. This graph shows the intradiscal pressure in our spine at various body positions. Compare slouching and standing. You can see that the intradiscal pressure in slouching is nearly 2 times more than that in standing. Therefore, you can imagine how much pressure will be imposed to your lumbar disc when you have to drive for quite a far distance. The driver's spine not only needs to deal with high amount of intradiscal pressure in sitting, but they are also getting shock absorption when they drive on some bumpy roads, which will put additional pressure to the spine. Second common problem among drivers is sciatica. Sciatica is a compromise of the longest and largest nerve in your body called sciatic nerve, which run through from your lower back and running down to your posterior thigh area. The primary symptoms will be pain starting from the lower back and down along your leg. Also, a patient with sciatica might feel tingling and numbness from the buttock area down to their feet. When sitting poorly in a vehicle, with back rounded out and leaning forward, this might cause the disc to bulge and push back onto the sciatic nerve. Furthermore, when the driver presses onto the accelerator, the driver might need to point their toes like this. In this position, the sciatic nerve is actually forced to lengthen, therefore putting more mechanical stress onto the nerve. Last but not least, neck and shoulder pain is also very common among drivers. The main reason for getting neck and shoulder pain is because the distance between the steering wheel and the driver is too far, leading to forward head posture and slouching. If driver hold in that position for too long, their neck and shoulders will be stressed and strained. So what we can do to prevent these injuries from happening again? Here I will cover 4 main advices to you who are suffering from pain in different parts of your body when driving. First of all, get into a good driving posture. Adjust the seat height up until your hips are as high as your knee. Make sure you can still see the road. If the seat is too low after adjusting the seat to its maximum height, you can add a cushion underneath your bottom. Make sure backs of your knees do not touch the car seat bottom, as this is bad for the blood circulation in your knees and legs. There should be at least 2 fingers gap between back of your knee and the seat. Next, adjust the seat forward so you can completely depress all the foot pedals without your back moving away from the back of the seat. Be aware that your knees should not be too straight, maintaining a small bend in your knees at least 20 to 30 degrees. Also, the right foot should be able to move easily between the accelerator and brake pedal. Another adjustment you can make to improve your slouching posture is the inclination of the seat back. The inclination of the seat back should be around an angle of 100 to 110 degrees. This angle decreases the pressure on the lumbar discs. For the seat belt, most cars now come with 3-point seat belts. which have been proven to reduce injury in the event of an accident. When using your seatbelt, make sure the leg portion goes across the pelvis, but not the abdomen, so that the belt catches the bone of the pelvis, but not the stomach or internal organs. This is especially important if you are pregnant. Sometimes you can really manually adjust the driver's seat to an ideal position, as it is the way it was manufactured. For example, the inclination of the seat back. Therefore, we might need an external support. Lumbar support can provide more support to your lower back. Put the lumbar cushion behind your back so that the lowest edge of the support should be placed at belt line. You should get a flat hand into the gap between your back and the chair. If you don't have a lumbar support, the simplest fix is to use a small roll-up towel and put it behind your lower back. The towel can be rolled less or small to create varying sizes of curve until you find the right one for you. This method is cheap, easy, and massively variable, but it's not a long-term solution, mainly because of the towel falls away as you leave the seat, and it will squash flatter and flatter over time. If people is driving a manual car, there are quite a few modifications. If manual car driver is not using the clutch, put the left foot onto the footrest so as to provide more support onto your pelvis and your lower back. When reaching for a gear stick, arms should remain in neutral position, neither reaching to a straight arm, nor bending beyond 90 degrees. Talking about the selection of car, tall people may find it more comfortable with driving on a four-wheel drive or SUV, which have more space than sedan car. Also, tall people is less likely to slump their back when sitting on SUV and four-wheel drive than other sedan car, as the seats are higher. Last but not least, prolonged sitting is very detrimental to our back. Taking regular breaks from driving, especially long-haul drive, is very beneficial to drivers. Ideally, drivers should take regular break for every 20 minutes to do some stretching and exercises. Also, when driving on the freeway, you can try to drive on cruise control so that you don't need to bother pressing on accelerator for a long period of time, and avoid sustaining your ankle in an unnatural position for quite a while. Alright, these are pretty much all the strategies that can help if driving posture is the main cause of your musculoskeletal problem. Go and check your car, make sure you adjust to fit your body. If you still experience pain driving after you have made all the modifications, then that means probably you might need a physio treatment. Feel free to come to talk to us if you need to do any treatment with your body, or simply know more about good postures in the car.